Hi, welcome to the video. I'm Mark Adams, post-production professional, and today I'm going to veer away from Premiere and Resolve, and I think it's time we start looking at Avid and some of the real basics. This is just going to be how we set up a project in Avid. I've come across many clients that find this a little strange, but it's relatively simple. So let's have a look. If we jump into Avid now, and when you open Avid, you'll have this project pane. You'll see your user profile. You can create that afterwards or import one if you've used Avid before. Here we have where the project lives. You can have a private-based project attached to your desktop, let's say. You can have a shared-based project attached to, let's say, shared storage system and external. And this project can be based on a storage drive over here. So 3 choices, and you hit the folder, and you can then choose where that project goes. I am going to choose this project to go to my backup drive, and I'm going to call this Avid. Click OK. Now, the location of that project is ready to go. Inside here, it would be the list of projects that would be inside this overall folder. There's none in there at the moment, so let's have a look. If we go to New Project, and this will pop up. Now, there's lots of different choices in here. You've got your project name. Let's call this, we'll call this Avid Demo 1. Now, let's just have a little look at this. In format, we've got quite a lot of choices, pretty extensive actually from Avid, pretty good. We've got Ultra HD, all different frame rates. We've got 2K, we've got 4K, we've even got 8K and up to 16K, you know. As long as you've got the performance in your system and your drives, then great. But there are lots and lots of choices here. We can also drop it down to traditional HD as well, 720 and SD, NTSC, or PAL, traditionally UK standard 25i PAL back in the day. If I was doing a UK delivery, my sequence would be 1080i50, so that's 1080 lines down, interlaced, and 50 fields. Okay, that doesn't mean 50 frames, it means 50 fields. Okay, 2 fields per frame, 2 interlaced fields per frame, which would traditionally be 25. You've also got your progressive as well, all the way down here, so lots of choices here. Now, I want to actually use 1080p 25. My source media is progressive 25, and that's what I want to keep it at. I can change this as a later date if I want to. Then, once we've set that, it'll automatically populate the raster dimensions. The frame rate is fixed. The aspect ratio is 16:9 square pixel. We've got the color space here. In HD, we'll keep the color space as this, 709, like 709. You don't want to start venturing into any other color space at this stage. Stereoscopic is off. Of course, Avid is a great stereoscopic editing tool, and you can edit left eye, right eye, side by side. It's also pretty good. Very advanced, but pretty good. The rest of it, you can sort of ignore. You can set up a new preset, but I'm happy with that. I'm going to click OK. There's the project set, and there's the inspector with my parameters, okay? 1080p 25 frames, Rec 709, 1920 by 1080. Stereoscopic is off. Click OK, and we're in. Avid will always give you a project-based bin to start you off with, but you can change that and do whatever you wish with that. Whilst we're here, let's just have a quick look at what else is going on in Avid. In terms of this browser, we have volumes. Not much going on with volumes at the moment. No volumes are attached. We go to settings. This is where all your settings are. It looks confusing, but in later videos I'll talk through some of these. We have our effects. Now, Avid does seem to be quite interesting in the way that it lays out its effects. All very fiddly. I've always found Avid incredibly fiddly when creating and altering parameters of effects. But there are some good ones in here, some good traditional ones as well. Format, this is where our format is. We can obviously change that if we want to. Bit of information about usage and info, just ignore that. But basically you'll be in the bin section and you could add new bins here. You could call this media. And you can also right click, you can create a new folder as well. So you could call this brushes and then drag that into there. And let's call this, we'll actually call this edits. We'll replace this as edits. And I just like folder structures, so I'm going to call this edits 2. Drag that in there. So we could maybe call this edits 1. Okay, so now we've got 2 bins. We've got one for our edits, and if you right click inside there, we can go new sequence, and we could call this edits 1. Good, so that's our new sequence ready to go, and that sequence will be 1080p25. Remember, the formatting has already been set for that. Okay, so now I've showed you how to make a project really simply, and make folders and bins. Nothing majorly complex here, very, very simple. I just want to show you how this project sits at the Finder level. So if I just jump to my drive now, you can see in my Avid projects folder that I created earlier, there's the project there, okay? We've got Avid Demo 1, there's the project. And inside, it's sort of expanded for you, okay? We've got various things. We've got these various files here. This is actually the project itself inside that overall folder. We've got edits, we've got the edit bin, we've got rushes, we've got the media bin, we've got various other things here as well, but these are the 2 things that are quite interesting. So the more folders you create, the more they'll populate. Let me just show you that now. So if I go in here now and create another folder and call it graphics, and let's create a new bin, and we'll call this, and we'll call that lower thirds. Now we can just drop that into the graphics folder. Let's now hit save, and we just jump into the project, get on my drive, projects, and we can see the graphics folder has been created and the bin. So this is quite handy because you can take folders and bins and move them into different projects. It's quite handy actually. Leave it at that. So in summary, we have created a Avid Media Composer HD Progressive 25 project. We have created folders and bins, and I've showed you the location of this particular project and how you can open up and expand the folders and bins at Finder level. I'm going to stop there. The next thing we're going to do is import media. I'm just going to show you how the media management structure works at the back end of Avid. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks.